Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today, we're getting into something special. So hopefully you've seen the last two videos, at least the one right before last, because the last one was a really cool rehome, but those are in the 20 gallon up front. The rehome before that is actually three complete 75s. Two of them have stocking in it. One of them doesn't, and that's the one that's outside right now. I've yet to scrape and paint it, which is the point of this video. But today, we're racking. So what we're gonna do is we are going to rack the three 75s. So, I'm gonna retire off of the amount of lumber that I bought. That's only 6 2 by 8 by 10s is the size that I used for those, but man, lumber's not cheap anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. But if you do remember from that video, and if you want to go see it, pause now and go check it out, because spoilers, but we've got these two 75s. This one has 2 turtles, African side neck turtles to be specific, and a giant common pleco. And this one has 2 clownfish and a damselfish. Now the damselfish, luckily, has been very active. I say that, and right now it's probably hiding somewhere. I do believe it's actually hiding somewhere. But those 2 clownfish are really active. They're doing awesome. But yeah, so there's a damselfish somewhere in here. And yes, it is dirty. Go check out that video. We basically went to get the tank, and my plan was to just kind of clean the tank out. And honestly, the sand that we have in this bucket down here is pretty clean. But basically, it was just a shotgun trip. So was this one. Basically how it went, in case you have seen that video, or by this time it's been like 2 weeks, so it has been a little bit, but for context, let's have a little bit of story time and a little bit of a recap for y'all. Basically what happened was, dude puts a post on one of the groups that I'm in, and here, let's go ahead and let's sit in front of the axolotl aquarium for the second. But yeah, dude puts a, where is it? There it is. Dude puts out a post onto one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, and he says, hey, we've got 2 African side neck turtles. I need to rehome them. Also, if you need help with the setup, I can help you with that. So I reached out to him and said, hey, how much would this cost? I know sometimes people want to sell their rehomes. Like, turtles are free. 75 is free. The driftwood, the heater, the power head, the light, the other light, because there's like a light for half the tank, there's a basking light, and there's a heating lamp. All that's free. If you want the Fluval 406 that I have hooked up to the aquarium, here it is. And then boom, he gave me for $100. And I was like, dang, okay. Essentially, like the way I thought about it, I was like, I'm getting all of this for $100. Perfect. So I went ahead and I got all of that, and this is just a mini rant just because I wanted to sit down for a second, and then we'll get into the actual video. But I got all of that. Went there, talked to the guy, and he also mentioned that he had another 75 while we were messaging back and forth, and I was like, okay. So I take my Kia Optima up there, which, if you know what a Kia Optima is, you know it's not a lot of space. But take my Kia Optima up there, and we're able to get 175 in there. But we already needed to go back to the city that this guy lives in because we needed to run some errands that night. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up really early. I'm gonna do one run, perfect. So I do one run. While I'm doing this all, and again, this was in that other video, but a quick recap, he gets the 2 turtles and he's breaking down the aquarium because he wanted to show me the setup first, and he goes, whoa, there's a big old catfish in here. Because earlier he's like, man, I could have swore there was a catfish in here. He goes, wow, there's a big old catfish. The pleco was like the size of my forearm, probably actually a little bit bigger than my forearm. So it's a pretty chunky little pleco. And they're not exactly fast growing, so that thing will be great in there for a little while. But yeah, he goes, whoa, that's a big old pleco. And I was like, yeah, you think? Like, I was just so confused. And he goes, you want it? And I was like, sure. Because he had a 125 that had 2 giant ones in it. And I was like, and he had a 90 African cichlid tank that had one in it also. And he had like one in a sump, if you can even call it that. It was basically its own other aquarium, which I say that, like, yeah, I know sumps are typically made out of aquariums, but this thing was huge. But yeah, so he gave me that, and then He's like, yeah, so I've got this one out here. And he showed it to me, and I told him I'd come back for it. And he goes, yeah, but I've also got this saltwater aquarium. It's another 75. I thought originally that it came with a sump. It didn't, but it's fine. I have excess 20-gallon longs. But it had a protein skimmer, and it was just going to be 75 sand protein skimmer. All of the live rock that he had and dry rock was all going to be like sold. So I'm like, I'll let you know. We'll be back tonight for the other 75. I'll let you know about the other one. So we don't take the Optima. We take the RAV4 up there, and we get the 175. And I texted him prior. I was like, hey, we'll take the other saltwater aquarium, and we'll go ahead and we'll take the protein skimmer as well. I'll bring the extra 100. So we get there. We're talking about it and everything. Yada yada yada. And he's got the 2 clownfish and the damselfish out in a container. We're breaking down the aquarium. And he goes, yeah, because those were supposed to be gone by the time that I got there. And he goes, yeah, you know, that guy, it kind of fell through him coming to pick up the fish. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, yeah, so I kind of don't know what I'm going to do with them. And I felt like he was maybe insinuating, hey, do you want these? But then it really wasn't that case, because who knew? Like, he doesn't know if I'm going to have this set up or if I'm going to like just wait 5 days to set up the saltwater aquarium. And it was already like at 7:30 at night. And he goes, because he also gave me the ceramic bricks that you saw in the last video, or the video before last, that has all the, you know, filter media on it, the beneficial bacteria. And those things are old, those are seeded, they're mature. So I was already gonna ask if I could take the damselfish, because he said someone was coming just for the clownfish, and I was gonna ask for the damselfish because I would like something in the aquarium, even if I just put those into like a 20 aquarium with the damselfish, just something to keep that beneficial bacteria alive. Well, lo and behold, the dude completely flaked on him, and he was just stuck with these fish. So luckily I brought some 5 gallons, and we got some of the salt water, hence why if you saw the other video, the water level is very low. Check out this axolotl as well. But the water's pretty low, so yeah, we ended up taking salt water, the beneficial bacteria bricks, and the fish, and brought it all home, and now, present day, all 3 fish have been pretty good for the last couple of days. I mixed some salt water as well from the salt that he gave me. I let it sit for a little bit, and I did, by a little bit I mean like a couple of hours. Like it was an emergency situation, so I just put a really high powered pump in there and just really churned it up, which I do not recommend, especially if you're a beginner in the saltwater world like me, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So that's where we are present day. Yeah. So now we get to rack the aquarium, which is going to be pretty fun. So this is going to be kind of shot in like a vlog style. It's not going to be like a tutorial on how to rack the 75s, because you don't really need a tutorial on that. Just stick some cinder blocks. I'll maybe do like a tutorial video at some point, but I wanted to take a shot at doing like a vlog style video, hence why we sat down and talked for 8 minutes. So we're going to go outside, start scraping, start pouring, start spraying, and all kinds of stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of videos. If you do, tell me down below. But let's jump outside and let's get prepping that 75 with the TOAIKO special of all black. Okay, so I was hoping to have a little bit more done and show you guys something, but actually here, let's go ahead and let's walk out of the fish room for a second, and maybe we can see it still happening. No, not really. It's raining. You can't really see it, and I'm not gonna just show you outside for no reason, but it's raining, and because it's raining, I can't spray paint the tank. I got one coat on there, and yeah, then it kind of started pouring, and here we are. But there is a few things, and it's actually really echoey in here now because of that. One thing, it's dark. There we go, we're done now. 2, I finally cleaned the garage, got all those boxes out of it. And 3, we've got all this here. All this, ignore the rodent stuff. why is this stuff in here? Why are there 10 gallons and 20 longs and so on and so forth? Well, it's because we came to a realization. And the realization was, if we rack this wall, this stock tank that was over there probably is going to get in the way in some way, shape, or form. And also, with the breeder island, it's gonna feel so cramped in here. So what we've actually decided is we're gonna put the stock tanks in the middle here. So it's basically going to be all around us is aquariums, because that wall we're racking, and then this is the door, and I can set it up in a way, at least I think I can, I'm gonna measure it out. I think I'm gonna be able to set it up in a way where we can get the 10 gallons there, the 2 extra 55 gallons over in the corner, in a way where I can still access that panel. And I think it's gonna work out to where I can still open the door. Because with the original design, I really wasn't gonna be able to open the door. So that's gonna be that. But I wanted to bring you guys back just for a kind of a quick update in that regard. Also, we're gonna go ahead and flip this around so you guys can see the clownfish a little bit more again. They definitely are camera shy and just overall shy of me. But I did go ahead and put the rock, the dry rock, back in there along with all of the beneficial media. And I think that damsel is somewhere either under the rock or in the beneficial media. But this rock looks gorgeous in this tank, if I do say so. Another thing about this tank that's kind of interesting is all this freaking salt buildup, or whatever, participation, not participation, jeez. It's been a long day, it's like 6 o'clock. Precipitation, I don't know what it's called. When particulates fall out of the water column, and I just scraped that all off, and that crap is all over the garage floor now. But yeah, the clowns are doing pretty good, which clownfish, to my understanding, and definitely after all this, they're pretty much bulletproof. And the damsel has been doing really well as well in here. But the damsel, he's had it for years, I do believe. He had a whole colony or group of them, but apparently this is the only one left. And much like the pleco, when I was there picking up the turtles in the pleco, he goes, "Oh, there's a damsel in there." Because when he posted on Facebook, he only talked about the two clownfish. So yeah, so he's got the damsel. And since I brought you guys back, went ahead and did a slight little water change on this. Didn't get all the mulm, but that's fine. But the bristles are out eating in troves right now. And yeah, their babies are doing really good. They're being amazing parents. I just fed them some brine shrimp recently. Probably end up doing it again. And yeah, everyone's doing pretty good. I gotta do some algae scraping on Max and Perry's tanks. They're really the only ones in here that get algae. This one gets some biofilm, and I don't know why. There we go. Now it's better. This one gets some biofilm, and that one gets biofilm. That one just because it's kind of a newer tank, so I understand it's still going through this. But these two have been up for a while, so I'm gonna dial it in and figure out, maybe I need to throw some more plants in there or whatever. But yeah, all in all, it's going pretty well. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is I'm going to take stock tanks, push them into the center, and we'll see how it goes and see if we actually like how it looks. Okay, just a quick update. I feel like my hair, just every single time I do one of these, is gonna progressively get more telling of the events. But hey, all the wood's cut. Finally got enough of a window of no rain to go ahead and cut the wood, and I'm building the stand. So just again, as I mentioned before, I don't necessarily need a tutorial on how you make these, but basically you get cinder blocks and 2x So over here, these are 3 2x4s, and then on that side, those are 2x8s, and then this side is also 2x8s with a slight overhang on both sides because, as you can see from this 75s are bigger than 16 inches. So these cinder blocks are 8x8x16. Realistically, I think they're actually, I think technically they're 7.5 by 7.5 by 15.5, I believe technically. So yeah, 75s are a little bit bigger. So on this one, just create a little bit of an overhang. That's not enough of an overhang to be a detriment to anything. So it's not going to affect what we're doing, and the 75 is still going to be fine. But yeah, so I took the turtles and the plecos out. Turtles are in that, and then the plecos in this 5-gallon bucket. Put a lid over just in case. Stock tanks are in the middle. Yeah, there's some parts that aren't painted. It's because, you know, I tore out the section that had the heater. I'll put the heater down below if necessary, you know, so on and so forth. So yeah, we're moving. Just when you clean the garage is when you make it dirty again. But I just want to show you guys a little bit of an update, and we'll take it from there. And much like before, it is a couple of days after, and we've got it all racked. Boom. Everything's going good. The whole fish room is going good. It's kind of in a disarray. And these things are here now. So we'll talk about that in a second. But first and foremost, turtles are doing really well. They're doing exceptionally well, actually. You can see one kind of moving in the back there. Maybe it's picking up on camera. Another one's chilling over there. And the pleco is somewhere in here having a grand old time. That turtle's actually trying to get to the other side right now, and he's trying to go through the smallest hole in the entire aquarium for some reason. Man, okay, there we go. And then for this aquarium, the clowns are doing really well, along with the damselfish. Now, I don't exactly know where the damselfish are right now. You can see the clowns right there, though. So both of them are chilling. They kind of go against the flow. Like, it's not even that much of a flow, but they'll go against the flow sometimes, and they'll come up here, and they'll go over there. Like, they've been doing this for the past 3 days. The damselfish is probably behind that rock as well. But we are getting the sea salt in today, so that way I can actually mix stuff, which is why I'm glad this 75 I cleaned out yesterday, because this 75 I'm actually going to, right after I am done recording, fill this up and then put a power head in it, and I'm going to mix the salt in here, and then I'm going to take the salt from here and I'm going to put it into here. So from here to here and to that sump, because yes, this is where the sump is going to go. If we walk over here, then this octopus, let me move this lid. This octopus skimmer is also going to go over there. So this octopus skimmer is going to go into this sump with that beneficial, or with that biological media and more biological media that I'll be ordering. And there's going to be an overflow valve from here that overflows, goes down and in. And then actually one of these pumps is going to return pump it up and over. So it's going to be pretty good. Now, let's talk about these stock tanks for a second, since this is kind of like a vlog style video and not necessarily like the other kind of videos where it's been just, hey, we're structured, we're talking about this one thing. So I think what we're going to do, because we took all the 10 gallons out, and the 10 gallons are in the rec room right now, but I think what I want to do is I think that I want to take these stock tanks and have them either like this or rotate them and have them long ways, because it's actually surprisingly not going to necessarily add more of the length, because the gap for the pipes in between. So it would actually, it's like 82 right now, and the total length would be 104. So we're talking about 22, or basically 2 feet more. But I could kind of do it in a way where it would make sense, but basically it would be 2 foot more, but it would be a little bit longer, and then maybe have those 255s over there, and maybe the 10s over there, or maybe get rid of those 255s because they don't actually have the braces anyways, and I would have to buy the braces, like buy a completely new rims for them, at least the top, because he used to house reptiles, the guy that I got this from, so he just, you know, banged out those braces because he didn't need them anymore. So that's a possibility as well. I'm not sure, so we'll kind of see. We'll play with some things, but for the time being, I think I like this idea, and I spray painted the stuff, so I just have to come back and spray paint the top. to get rid of like this little section here to make sure that that's actually black so it matches the rest of like the black trim that I have going. But yeah, honestly, pretty stoked. This vlog style video has been kind of fun and interesting just because I get to come in and I get to do some stuff around the fish room. Mainly just I get to do this racking system with the 375s and the 329s and take it from there. No, these 329s are not staying like this. I need to silicone the edges, which I have the silicone. I just need to actually go in and do all of that. So I need to re-silicone all of the beads. One of them I have to do all of the beads. The other two, actually one of them I have to do all the beads, top and bottom. And I want to say it's this top one here. This one, I think I just have to do one side. No, this one down here, I have to do one side, like one strip. And then this one, I have to do all four. So each one of them has their own special needs, but it'll be fun. So I'll silicone them, and then I'll spray paint them as well. And yeah, we're off to the races. But basically, I'm just gonna be building that sump out. I'm gonna go ahead and drain that sump, put the octopus protein skimmer in there, fill up the 75 with some water, dechlorinate it, let it sit there, and then later this afternoon when I get the salt, I'll dose the salt and then go ahead and put the, I'll mix it, but I'll put the power head in there to make it mix up a little bit faster. And then with all that being said, tomorrow morning I should be able to introduce the salt back into the new 75 with proper salinity and get this whole thing running. So I have another day to just get things going. I'm gonna play around with the protein skimmer probably a little bit before I go ahead and drain out that sump, but who knows. Hopefully you did enjoy them. I think this has been pretty fun just because, you know, I got to build this whole racking system. But if you did enjoy, or you want to see any of the videos about any of the other fish that I have here, especially all the rescues that we've got, then definitely check out the channel. It'll be a fun time. But until next time, hope you have a good one.